Hi, this is an interview for Edularity. Today we are with Laura Bowman. Which are the biggest myths about education?
Okay, I think I spoke a little bit about this before, but I will definitely say again that I think the biggest myth about traditional education is that the subjects that are taught in school are necessary for every single person. People say, oh, well, what about science? And what about geography? And what about this? I've never heard anybody say, oh, but in school, what about art? What about music? They're so concerned with these very core basic subjects. Like they're vital for every single person to learn that. And I really don't believe that. I think that if you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that growing up with books and activities that are available, you're going to get a little taste of all sorts of things. And maybe this will be more interesting to you. Oh, I'm more interested in art, or I'm more interested in music, or I'm more interested in science or geography. And if you can just focus on that, that's great. I remember one time my oldest son, he used to do comics. I remember my dad saying to me, wow, I wish that when I was his age, that I would have had the time, just the freedom to spend all day long doing something that I loved instead of having to do all these other things that I didn't care about. And that really was such an incentive for me to keep going. I was like, oh, maybe we were on the right track. To have someone much older to look back and say, oh, I wish that I had been able to do that too. How different might my life have been? Is definitely something that I think is very limiting to kids who are in school. They have to learn all of these subjects that they're not interested in.
Now that you're mentioning that, a lot of homeschoolers or unschoolers, especially the parents, are very concerned because most of the family members just criticize. Did you have that experience?
No, I didn't. For lots of reasons. My parents just weren't in the habit of trying to tell us what to do. I was always like the weirdo in the family. So they were used to me being different from a much earlier age. So they knew we were always going to do things differently, and they didn't try to interfere. And so on the one hand, my parents were kind of like hands off. That can be good and that can be bad in some ways. So it just depends on how you look at it. But I haven't experienced any of the judgment or criticism from family.
Are you listening? Damn.